Good evening and welcome to the live show where we dissect the market and we absolutely just pick out every single popper. How about today? We had Buru running over 100%. We had NMHI, Nature's Miracle, Yang, what else? DJT, LASE we looked at last night for that bounce, and then AGRI is one that we had looked at before. So just a ton of them that were popping. And again, give me a week and we figure out that pattern and boom, ba boom, ba boom. We're just going to be nailing them nonstop now. It's going to be great. So just get used to it and let's just roll through these, pick out the more poppers, what's going to be popping tomorrow and the rest of the week, and let's nail them. So here we go. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And I am going to start off with Buru because it was popping today. That Nubaru was moving this today. It was moving the other day as well, yesterday a little bit, but it really got moving today. It was up what to like $1.20. It was like over 140% from where I posted it, and I know we've been looking at it, tracking it, and saying that it was going to get moving. And boom, there you go. That was 100% right there. BURU, and we all know that they don't like to continue to run, but this one still has some space to move up there. It did pull back, obviously, to the like 106 area at the end of the day for BURU, but I just think it's gonna kind of run up in the morning a little bit more probably, and then you know how they like to pull back there. So look for that, and I'm just going to pop it up on my chart real quick just to see what it looked like in the after hours. It does look like it wants to kind of continue up in the morning, so look for it, but obviously you don't want to be chasing it by no means, but obviously ran up over 100%, like 140 something percent today, and that was BURU. And then let's look at OM. Outset Medical. This one's actually setting up. I was looking at this today. Someone sent it over, and it is bullish up there. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but that 20's crawling up to it. It was opened at 62, and its high was only like 0.6291. It got down to the 58-cent range, and I want to look at this OM and just take a look at it just to see what it's doing tomorrow. But that 20's coming right up on it, and it looked like it was kind of pulling back there. So just an interesting look, but looked like it wanted to set up. So I wanted to take a look at that one and keep an eye on it. OM, it's Outset Medical. I kind of feel like that was on a laptop lowdown list not long ago. Um, Here we go. GDHG, that China company that we've looked at, it was down today. It did take a nice dip. It split the other day and it did crawl through and it's just doing that old pullback trick now. And it might have to wait for the 20 to come down, but that's at 340, so it has some time. I'll look at it tomorrow and just see if it wants to kind of bounce off the MACD right there because like I said, it's crawled through and and it's just in the basement. So it could bounce, has that support line behind it. So it could do a little bounce. We'll have to look at it. And again, it kind of depends on how these China stocks are going to be moving, if they're going to be popping still or not. So we'll be looking at that yin and yang as well. But let's just keep on cruising. UNCY, that was down just a little bit. And these were a couple that people were looking at today. And I was just checking them out and jotted them down. I think this one has a little bit of pullback. It kind of gives you that look like it wants to try to bounce or it's a bottom, but I'm not so sure just yet. So I'm going to look at UNCY tomorrow and take a better look at it just to give it a look and see if it is trying to actually stop. I think today it was just kind of stair stepping itself, parachuting down so it don't crash down too hard. So that's UNCY. And I'll just take a quick peek at that tomorrow and see if it's going to continue to go down. CETX, now this is an interesting one for sure because it dipped pretty hard again today. And we were just looking at it yesterday after it did split on the third. It did pull back quite a bit. And again, its high was 120, its low is 90 cents there. It had over 14 million in volume. So it is moving around there. And let me get a better look at CETX and just see what it's doing. Yeah, it's still pulling back, but down at that bottom right there. So we'll look to see when it wants to reverse, but I think it's actually going to be kind of soon. The 20's way up here at like 680 something. So we're not expecting that to actually come down and grab it at this point. Again, it did split and on the third and ran up on that day. So it ran up to 349, and now we're sitting there looking at it at 90 cents, 85 in the after hours. And we'll look at it tomorrow, see if it's going to be the bottom, because this will have a nice little run on it when it gets reversed. And we want to be a part of that one, CETX. So I am watching that. KOLD, cold, and that's a ETF for the natural gas. And this is the ultra short, and it is moving up there. It crossed through, and it looks like it's curling through. It just got up to that 20 at 62.78. It broke through it today. It got up to 62.86, and seems to have some momentum right there. I think cold KOLD is going to run a little bit. So that looks like the natural gas short. And so they do look like they might run a little bit. Is Boyle the other one? Yeah, Boyle is the pro. So that's the ultra pro pro shares ultra Bloomberg natural gas two times. This is the other ETF. And this is at 1010, but I don't are yeah, I think these are the two opposites, possibly. If I'm wrong, correct me somebody. But I think so. And then this is Boyle, and this is at 1010 and kind of just dipping down. This did the opposite, just crossed down. It was running up there, and now it's pulling back. So that is Boyle, Boil. And we just did KOLD. And like I said, that one looks like it does want to run up. SLXN, let's look at that one right here because it's running in the basement for a while. Almost looks like a one of them what are they called? The whatever they're called. The I can't even think about it when they run at the top right there. And my mind's blank, whatever that's called. Oh, I can't even think of it. I thought it was going to come to me. It'll come to me in a minute, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I say it all the time when they run up there and then all of a sudden it just starts. A shell company, there it is. Holy cow. I'm sure somebody probably just told me too. But yeah, a shell company, that's what it looks like, but it's not. It's a biotech Israel company down here, and it's way down. And each day it just keeps dipping down and down and down. And you keep thinking it's going to be its bottom, and then it goes down more the next day. And the 20 is actually at 72, and this is at 37. And I think it might have to pull back a little bit more. It's just going to run in that basement and continuously pull back a little bit. So we'll just keep an eye on that one. CTNT is our cheetah. It was down a penny today. Someone asked me to take a look at this one. It did run up. We remember the other day it ran up on October 4th, and it's just kind of pulling back. The 20s over it now, and it did it. They just have that one pop up generally, and then they're coming back down. They have to reset up completely. Either come back, either roll off the MACD really good, or a cross down, get set up. That takes a while, and then get moving again. So obviously, we know that when they move, they're pretty quick and you get in and get out of them because you just don't know what the next day is going to bring, and the day after could be even worse. So, CTNT looks like it's just kind of pulling back there. Has a bunch of weird looks, but I would assume it's trying to pull back to that MACD. Let me see what it did in the after hours here and just see if I get a. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it just wants to pull back. We'll see if it wants to roll off the MACD when it comes down to it, but CTNT does look like it wants to come back. LGMK, that logic mark, that was moving yesterday. And again, if they're moving, it's you're not sure if they're going to continue to run. You think they can, but you have to be careful, and that's why if they're moving, you got to get out and lock in those profits. This one did jump over to 20 yesterday and stuck it there, and it was kind of fine. Then it pulled back in the after hours, and then today it dipped down. It opened at 12 cents, 0.1218, and its low is 0.1121, and it's sitting at like 11 and a half. So it did pull back there, and it looks like it's trying to cross through or hit that line. And I wouldn't be surprised if LGMK tries to cross through. Let's see if it did in the after hours here. Maybe it's just going to try to ride. It's sitting there trying to ride that line and push it. So we'll look at it first thing in the morning, and we'll see if it's going to push the line down or up. So I'm just making a mark right there, and that's LGMK. And like I said, it popped up yesterday. We caught that run, and Yeah, I'm not so sure it wants to crawl off, but we'll look at it and see if it wants to have that second move. NDRA, now that's Endura Life Sciences, and let's look at this one because that was a recent split and ran up, and now it's pulling back pretty good today. I saw it dipping pretty nice, but you know what's happening? The 20's coming down. It's at 21 cents, and this is at 19. It could be that dip and rip situation, so you want to keep an eye on this one. And I'm not saying it's ripping tomorrow, but we definitely want to keep an eye on it to see if it wants how much more it's going to pull back because that 20 is coming down for it and it's getting pretty close. We've been watching it pull back. And I think NDRA either the end of this week, obviously Thursday or Friday. Like I said, I don't know if it's popping tomorrow, so we'll look at it and just see what it wants to do, or possibly next week. So that is NDRA, but we're going to keep it on our list and take a look at it. AUUD, this is one that we were checking out, and we kind of thought that it just crossed through, but I think it's going to have to wait for this 20 and this hard line to just come down and pop off the bottom. Has a bunch of weird looks, and I still think that October 2nd, that 55 cents is probably its low. Hasn't got back down that low. That was like its dip situation, and it's setting up. I'm telling you, this thing looks pretty wild. So keep your eye on AUUD because I think it's going to try to get moving really soon there. It just kind of pulled back on us today and nothing that crazy, I don't think. So keep an eye on this one. I'm just getting a better look at it on the other charts just to see what it's doing here. And AUUD, let's see. Yeah, I'm telling you, this thing's going to get set up. And again, it might not be tomorrow, but it does have some weird looks going on, and it's about to hit that bottom. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one as well as tries to set up right there because it's right about there. I'm has like a couple days to spare, and so yeah, it's we'll keep an eye on that. AUUD. SPRC, this one looks like it was trying to bottom out today. That 20, it seems like it's coming down for it. It's at like the 25-cent area, and this is in the 21, almost 22-cent area. It pulled back in the after hours closer to 21 cents, but it did look like a little bottom today, and just in that basement, barely in the basement, and it's curling up. So let me just take a better look. SPRC. And yeah, it looks like it wants to get moving. I would keep an eye on this tomorrow morning, guys. SPRC. It does look like it's trying to get moving there, and it's not too far off from the 20. We know that they can bounce up that 4 cents with no problem. So SPRC, we could definitely see that start to move. And there you go. Let's check out and see what's going on here. Let me check it out. I know I missed there we go. All right, we'll go through laptop travels list. I didn't add it to the thing. I completely missed it somehow, and I was wondering if he was going to send a list over. I figured maybe he was in the air or flying right now, so I was like, oh, maybe he's flying and he didn't get a chance to, but he did. So we will add that at the end and roll through it. So I was just checking. But SPRC guys, take a look at that one tomorrow. And EDBL, let's look at that because we've been looking at it and people have been liking this and it's doing that big curl. And like I said, it's going to jump around and we're getting right there. So as it jumps around, we know it's going to pull back as it curls up too. So it's going to jump around and slowly pull back as it starts to go up. And you're probably about 2 or 3 days out from it crossing up. So watch for these bottoms today. The low is in 19 0.1926, and yesterday's low was 20 cents, and the day before that the low was like 0.2010. So you can see what I'm saying. It continually gets a little bit lower, but they do run up. So watch this bad boy because it's right there. It's trying to curl up. And we know when it's a day or so out, they like to pop and then they hit that wall right there. So EDBL is getting ready to. So just keep your eye on it. Let me look at it on mine to get a better look at the after hours just to see. And yeah, it's like right there. So I would look at it in the morning, guys, and see if it's trying to move EDBL. And if it has some momentum, it may get moving. Because like I said, it's right there. It's about a day or two out of there, and it's right there. So and here you go. EDBL is a featured ticker coming on tomorrow's laptop lowdown list. There you go. So I'll repost that for you. Laptop Lowdown just popped the chart up, and yeah, EDBL, I'm telling you, it looks good. It's right there, and it's about a day or so out, and we know that's where they like to run. We've pretty much timed them out to the T. I mean, it's we've hit so many of them. So TURB, I know. How about TUR? No, that's a ETF. We won't even do it. TURB. This one ran up like crazy, and I believe was a Peninsula Life had this one today, and yeah, this one definitely ran up, and it ran up higher because it ran way up higher than what we were looking at it at, and it is up at the top there. Turbo Energy just blasted off. And I'm almost positive it was Peninsula Life that called this one, and it absolutely ran like a maniac. So TURB was running, and I'm not gonna lie, it's up at the top there, and it almost has that look when they get to the bottom when they run so hard, like when they pull back so hard and they hit that bottom and you know they're gonna bounce. This almost has like that look like it wants to bounce down, but they generally don't like this. So look at it in the morning, and if it wants to move a little bit higher, it's going to continue to run up there. So TURB, and I mean it's almost off the chart. So it ran up so high that it almost came right off like, but even my chart, I can try to scroll it all the way down if I want, but there's really no point because you can't see anything else. So it literally like ran off the chart, and it still has momentum to run a little more. So it had some turbo energy, that's for sure today. And that was a good look. I believe Peninsula Life nailed that one. So that was TURB, and came across today, and bam. And it was running up yesterday, and it really moved. And here you go. Hold on. Let me hop in the messages. Um, Laptop travel just at 90% insider held. People are calling for a $6 target on that TURB. So there you go. It's only in the 270s. I could see it moving. And Peninsula, I said it's going to short squeeze tomorrow. Shorts are trapped, and I don't doubt it. I mean, I'm telling you, this thing looks wild. So TURB, like I said, I posted it today because of Peninsula Life and Laptop Travel. They were both talking about it there. And yeah, I looked at it and was like, yeah, that thing's gonna run. You could just see it had that momentum. It was moving, and it did, because I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was around 230, 220, 240, somewhere's in that vicinity. And I was like, it's getting cruising there. And so it absolutely did. It's in the 270s right now, and it looks like it wants to continue to move. So keep an eye on that bad boy tomorrow, TURB, and it could possibly be a mover. UCAR caught my eye today. Just I was looking at old ones, to be honest with you, and I think we might have to go through one of them lists maybe tomorrow, because I was just kind of just finishing it up, but I wasn't completely done. But I was looking at a bunch, and this one just caught my eye, just where it's at. If you look at this setup, it's coming down hard on the MACD. It's not quite there, but I mean, it's set up perfectly. Something's going on here, and I just have an eye on it to see tomorrow if it's gonna either bounce off of here or dip down a little tiny bit and really set up. So I'm not sure what the heck this thing wants to do. As a matter of fact, I never looked at it after 8 o'clock. And yeah, it almost looks like it wants to roll off that MACD and just fly. So this is a China company. We know what they've been doing lately. And just keep your eye on this thing for like I said, it caught my eye just looking at ones that we've gone through. And it looked really good right there. I mean, it's like right at the right timing. So it was just kind of pulling back today a little bit, and it got up to 699 where it opened. It got down to 646, and it closed in the 672, and it's sitting at 665. It says it says 672, so right around there. And but yeah, it just has that really nice setup look. So keep an eye on UCAR. It could really get driving there. AGRI, one that we've looked at many times before, AgriForce Growing Systems. I mean, it's been pulling back, obviously. We kind of knew to look. That's why we stopped looking at it. And I'm not going to lie, did they have news? No. I don't even know why this thing popped today, but it had like 343 million in volume, and it went crazy for whatever reason. It just jumped up. I'm not sure exactly why, to be honest, because it wasn't even, I mean, I guess it was. right there. I mean, it wasn't where I would be looking for them at, to be completely honest with you, but it did make that nice base, and the 20 wasn't too far away. Like I said, this thing was at like it was down here, what? Let me look at it. It was in the fours, like the high fours, and it just had to get to like less than 5.5, and it did. It just jumped up there this morning and then just got cruising off the 20, off the 50, and then popped up like a maniac. So I would say anywheres that you would have gotten it in the last few months, that we were looking at it, you would have definitely been profitable today. That's for sure, because it shot up like a maniac there. So AGRI went wild there, and that was one that we were looking at. So if you ended up looking at it and it got caught up in it, it shot up there. So you were definitely safe today and made profit, I can tell you that. So that was AGRI, another one we had looked at. We were just a little early, but we generally are. That AB, oh, I'm sorry, ALBT, not AB. It's ALBT, Avalon Globocare. We've looked at this a few times, and I was saying that the setup was trying to get there. Well, this thing is trying to get there for sure. I would take a look at this in the morning. It is looking good to bounce off this bottom area. The 20s came down for it, and it looks solid right there. So ALBT is looking good to run tomorrow. So I would say to keep your eye on ALBT for tomorrow and see what it wants to do. Here is Agra. Oh, here you go. To regain, this is Agra Force. Oh, thank you, Laptop Travel. He just posted to regain compliance with the continued listing standards for NASDAQ Capital Market. Our board believes it would be in our stockholders' best interest for our common stock to regain compliance with the NASDAQ minimum price requirement on June 24th. AgriForce Growing Systems, they received staff listing, blah, blah, blah. So I guess they're going to June 21st. I'm just trying to look real fast, so I don't have to read the whole thing because it's a big page. But on or before August 1st, the board shall approve the reverse stock. And then on or before November 25th, it should approve the reverse stock split. So I would say they will get a reverse split going there, or they're going to try to drive that bad boy up. Let's look at it again, AGRI, because they'd have to get to $1 and keep it there for like 10 straight days to keep compliance is generally what it would have to do. And I mean, it's back at 6 cents. I don't know if any of these things at this moment in this market could actually go and run like that. Although I can't say none of them because we've seen a few of them do it. So I don't know. Anything's possible in this crazy market. That is for sure. But it did run up and it didn't look strong enough to continue to stay. But we'll absolutely look at it in the morning. You know that because it was running. We've been looking at it forever. So AGRI, we'll take a definite look at it in the morning and see if it wants to try to run up. Like I said, it would have to really get cruising there, and maybe it could even pull back and then get soaring, but it would have to make up a whole lot of room right there. So anything's possible, but I think they're going to end up seeing the reverse split instead of getting to $1 for 10 days straight. And so there you go. We'll absolutely keep a look at an eye on AGRI. We looked at it for a long time and probably just stopped looking at it as it was pulling back there just because it had some weird looks and it was over the 20 was over it, and it was just continuously pulling back there on us. So it did run up that one day. I'm looking at it on September 20th, but again, nothing real crazy, nothing like today. Today it just went nutty. So that is AGRI. And then we looked at ALBT, and I'm telling you, look at this one tomorrow at 22 cents, 23 in the after hours. And this one looks really good right there, ALBT. So you want to keep an eye on that one. XRTX, that's another one got sent over. It was up 27 cents. It actually wasn't even up that much when I was looking at it earlier. It jumped up a little bit more, I guess, today, and its high was 194. It closed at 180, came to 175, but it was looking really good. Now it's hitting that line right there, and I'm not so sure it crosses through. Let me look. I might be able to tell. XRTX, because it did run up there. Oh, ooh, that's a crazy one. I think it should get through the line right there, to be honest with you. If it gets through and it can stay above right here at that 168, and it is right now, it's at 175, and then it can, yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad at all. It could get through that line tomorrow and continue to move XRTX. So keep an eye on that one as well. It's not looking bad at all. Like I said, I looked at it today and it was definitely in like it was lower than this. I would say it was in the 160s when I looked at it, and it definitely jumped up higher. I can just tell by the way it's on the chart where it's at. So that's why I just know it was lower. I just don't remember exactly the price. And someone messaged it to me, and I was like, "Oh, that looks good. We'll go over tonight." And it did shoot up, but it looks nice. I think it will crawl through. I want to look at that. So let's mark it. And there you go. Somehow I put Cheetah on there twice, CTNT. I don't know what I was doing, but there you go. MAXN, um, down 9%. We know this is about to reverse split, so we're gonna watch for that one. I think tomorrow it opens in the split. I don't even remember. It doesn't even show anything here. Um, Here you go. They did announce it at 7 something this morning. I'm pretty sure it was already announced, but the one for 100 effective October 8th. So it will reverse split. So we will keep an eye on that one for sure because we love these reverse splitters right now. I put another one on there twice, KOLD. So I don't know what I'm looking at, but WULL. I'm telling you, I looked at a lot of charts today. That's what I looked at. I was just going through a bunch of them from before and kind of rolling through the notebook at asterisk ones and writing them down. Again, that's how I saw UCAR, to be honest, which I didn't even see it on the scanners or anything. It just happened to look really good, and I was like, what's this thing gonna do? Let me add that to the list so we can keep an eye on it. So that's how I saw that. So I looked at a bunch, and I actually was finishing, trying to finish up. I didn't realize how long it would take me to trying to edit. I'm gonna try to finish tonight or tomorrow, but definitely the next day or so. I'll have everything all edited, all the videos, and I'll just pop them all up on the YouTube and then I've been shooting all the ones live and with all the obviously with the chart, but I actually added me so you can see me talking about it all, and then I'm gonna start doing it all completely live. So I'll get everything up to date and moving, and so I'm just trying to get caught up with all that. So I was doing that, watching the market, doing some trading, and I'm telling you, the Yang and the Yin are just crazy ones. So I've been watching that thing because I've never really watched them before, but they are great, and we'll go over them for sure. But let's look at Wolf, WULF, that Terra Wolf, and this has crypto in mind, and it is pulling back right now. So it looks like it still wants to pull back, but it is super bullish, getting up there around like probably around the 480. So it's at 390s right now. Let's watch it get to that bottom right here. And I don't think it's going to get down into the low threes. I think you're just going to kind of see it right in the 370s probably. And we'll see if it hits the bottom right here and can bounce back up. So that's about where it should be on the chart. And so we'll look for Wolf, WULF, pull back a little bit more and get moving. And like I said, we'll look at that yin and the yang, and let's look at them because the yin was down like $17. It's up 4 cents in the after hours, but doesn't have any look that it wanted to move back up to me. So let me just take a quick look, and yeah, it looked like it was just pulling back. So I don't see the yin moving up tomorrow just yet. That's what it looks like at the moment anyway. And let's go over to Yang because we that's the one we liked we were looking at. And the yin ran up a little higher than I thought. I actually forgot that they had that like week off or whatever. So but the Yang just kind of has that crazy close today. It as it's curling up and it's hitting that basement floor right there. So just left you at the most interesting look it could ever leave you at. I'm not gonna lie. And closed around 325. It got up to what, 346. Let me just look on mine and see what it says. Because mine says, yeah, 329. It got up to that 346 right there. And I'm telling you, this thing's ready to get cruising right there. The Yang, I mean, it just looks like it's going to reverse and get moving. And I tell you, I was definitely looking at options today on that thing just to give you an idea. So It looks crazy, and Laptop Travel just said the yin versus yang is the time for that China stimulus reversal. And here you go. He has both charts up there, and I will repost that, and you can just see how high the yin ran up and the yang went down. And I'm telling you, the yang on my chart, and I mean, I didn't look at it on stock charts. Let's do it. Um, Oh, it's hitting that basement floor. All it has to do is get out. It's coming up to 506. It's hitting my options, that's for sure. And then it's cruising up even higher than that. So we should see the Yang reverse it. I don't know if it's ever been like this low, to be honest with you, because even when it was down here on the chart, way down here, it was in the sevens. So yeah, we're seeing it at a pretty low price, and it was. It was just like a crazy stimulus pump, and I think you're going to see the reversal. Hey, it may not last forever, but they got to reverse. I mean, this thing's so low and the other one's so high, the yin. So the 20, like I said, is all the way at the 580 mark, and you're going to get some movement on them both. So we're watching that yang to go up. Just as we were watching the yin go up before, now it's the yang was going down. Now they're going to start reversing. So play them accordingly and lock in your profits right there because they will move. And I mean, there's a lot of movement right there. They moved a lot and they moved fast. So you know they're going to change and turn back around at some point, and it looks like it's going to happen. So there you go with the yin and the yang, and check them out. MLGO down 4 cents and just kind of sitting right at that 20 right there. It did run up the other day on the third. And again, they just can't keep themselves up. So now it basically pulled itself back down and still doesn't look bad. I have to see this on mine in the after hours. Yeah, kind of just a little healthy pullback, but doesn't look bad to try to roll off of there. So, I could see it rolling off the MACD right there and the 20s right there to pop it up and even get higher. So we'll have to look at this in the morning to see if it actually wants to run. So let me just look at it and see. But take a look at that as well in the morning. And because yeah, I think that MLGO could be a potential one that's going to try to bounce back up there. And Laptop Travel says it's a time for the options. And here you go. This is what this says right here. And you can see the buy calls and the at $4, and yeah, he put everything right there, and that's like some of the highest expiration. So I mean, you have some time, but yeah, I mean, your profit and loss will be crazy on that thing. And yeah, I'm telling you, the options on these things are wild, guys. So just check it out. And if you're not, I'm obviously not even a financial person, and I'm definitely not an expert at options. It's something even newer to me, but I've been doing them, and yeah, I found that they are much better than just trying to buy straight up stocks. And obviously, some of the penny ones you're not going to be able to do options with. You will just have to buy straight up stocks. But if you can do options, look into learning how to do it as best as you can. I'll answer any questions that I can answer. Again, not a financial guy, and I took a course how to do it, and then 2 weeks later, I basically got smashed in the head and forgot like everything. So that didn't help me out none. And but yeah, I've been trading them. I've been successful with them, and I know what to do, but I'm not going to say I'm an expert. I could trade stocks better, but I want to learn. I'm going to get way better at options. Let's put it that way, because the percentages that you make are just way better, and you don't have to put up as much. So it just works out better. Every option's 100 shares, and so that's what you're buying, and you can buy it for pretty minimum because you get an expiration date. So if it expires, you know, you lose out. But and in a stock, it could just keep going down. But again, if they reverse split or anything, you're pretty much out that money. I mean, you're shot. So you'll just look at it continue to lose. At least in a option, it has an expiration, so you know you have a certain date to get out, and it kind of forces you to sell it while it's up, and then you pick your price where you think it's going to get. I always set it a little bit lower just to know that it's going to get in there and get into the money. And then the percentages are just, they're just way higher. And it's intrinsic value and other things. And again, I'm not an expert at options, so I'm not even going to begin to try to explain the inner workings of it. And if somebody does want to explain it one day, please feel free. I'll let you on and you can explain it in your terms. And but yeah, I'll try to break it down a little bit better. I really wasn't prepared for it tonight, and just trying to just telling you off the top of my head. But here you go. And I know I was waiting for somebody like Peninsula Life or Laptop Travel to kind of jump on and give me something better to say here. So here you go. Options are great because leverage, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Peninsula Life. You can easily get 10 times the return you'll get from buying the stock without even trying. The wealthiest traders trade options. I'm telling you, options, like I told you before, I've met a few hedge fund guys and they're all impressed that I can pick these 100%ers, but they're not trying to trade them. I promise you. They're just picking these options, and that's what they start picking my brain about these big caps and going, "Oh, dude, you can do that easily. Like you can see the SPY and the Mag 7 that easy that you know almost every day what directions it's going." And I mean, we pretty much nail it almost every single day. Yeah, we can, and to them, that's a gold mine, guys. So just listen to what I'm telling you. If it's a gold mine to them, it's a gold mine to you. And like I told you before, um, just them Nike options at $73 in the summer, and you bought them a couple months out. You bought a bunch of options. You knew it was going to 85. You picked them, you got them at 73 and set them for 80. So at 85, you're way in the money. And and you had them a couple months out. So they did. They actually took a couple months. It was perfect. But I mean, you want to talk about crazy percentages. It's definitely not like buying stocks, I promise you. So just look into it. And there's plenty of good information online, obviously, how to really learn the stocks. But it's really a matter of the strike price. And again, I'm not an expert at it, so it's kind of confusing when you look at the option chains. I'll have my buddy, I know what I'll do. I'll have my buddy Josh break it down like a dummy for us, and I'll have him give me the info. I'll go ahead and read it. Licensed people do not want to come on and give financial advice because it kind of goes against what they do and they can get in trouble. So I get it completely, and I've always been told you don't want to have a license. And again, I'm not a financial guy anyway, so I would never get the license. I just look at stock charts and can tell you what's going up and down. And so I'll have my buddy Josh give me an explanation, a good dummy 101, and maybe even on like a Saturday night. I'll go through and we'll talk about trading options and things and that kind of thing. And others that want to chime in and give their opinion and whatever they think and their experiences, it'll be perfect. So we'll set that up as a matter of fact because I'm telling you, it's something that you're going to want to look into. And obviously, with the penny stocks, you can see you got to be almost up at 4 a.m. if you're trading them anyway on Web Bull, because by 5 a.m. they're coming back down. You're not ever going to get the full potential if you're not trading them on Web Bull at this moment. I don't remember any time in my life in trading that it was this case, but there was never a web bull that was trading at 4 a.m. that had millions of people and volume like it does. And again, look at TNON that day. It ran from $4 to 125, and when it was 7 a.m. for like E-Trade and the bigger platforms to open, they got 1576, I think was the highest that they saw it at. So I mean, that's a big difference. 125 and $15. Yeah, you were happy because it was at $4 and you got 15, but you were way happier when you got $4 and got 125 out of it. And a bunch of our listeners did it. I saw the amount that they were making, and I'm telling you, they were making salaries that morning. So, and that was at 4 o'clock in the morning. They were done at like 4:20. They were probably smoking at 4:20 and celebrating because it was that crazy. So again, that's why I tell you is if you're messing with the penny stocks, make sure you're on the web bull to get that full potential. So I try to just, lead people down the right way. And obviously, like I say, we're all adults. We make our own decisions, but I just want people to understand that you're going to get the full potential at web bull as opposed to trading the these penny stocks on E-Trade. So just wanted to give you that heads up for new people that are listening and anybody else. So there you go. And yeah, the upside on the Yang options, here you go. Like I said, you can just look Laptop Travel just posted it, and here you go. If you had bought MU calls the day before earnings, it would have made bank. The day of earnings, the calls were up 700%, while the stock price only went up about $10 a share. Thank you, Peninsula Life. That's a perfect way to look at it right there. And you can sell your options at a loss. It might not be 100. You're absolutely right. So if your option's going to expire, you can sell it at a loss and take it and get out of it as well, and not have to lose your full amount. And again, you can buy these options for like 50, $60, and now you own 100 shares of something, and you can be buying things like Yang and Intel and like 10, 15, $20 stocks, and you got 100 shares now, and it's the leverage that does it. And that was the word I was looking for. It's all about leverage right there. That's almost everything in life. So that's why, and futures do the same exact thing. But we're not going to get into that. That's a whole nother day. But again, that's just options and just telling you my experience. And I've been doing this, like I said, I just started getting into them. And wow, I say, if I was doing these things for 20 years, holy cow, oh my goodness, it would have been insane. Like I tell you, I live a blessed life. I'm not complaining one bit. But I wish I had been doing options way longer, I'll tell you that. And I don't think I'll ever really go back to the like regular stocks, except for maybe like penny ones that I like here or there. I did sign up for the Web Bull. I'm just waiting to be approved. So I will mess around at 4 a.m. with everybody. And I did set it up just so I could actually get the live prices as well to help us out. So there you go. Let's get back to our list here and just start cranking these things out. But just a little insight about options and penny stocks and a little bit of everything. So there you go. And yeah, here we go. We'll keep on rolling through. And here's the link for Webbull. I just reposted it. Laptop Travel has posted it a few times. I used that exact link to sign up. And like I said, it's not anything for Laptop Travel as a referral. He found a link where you get free shares depending on how much you deposit there. So if you deposit like $500, you get so many fractional shares or whatever it is, up to like 25 grand or something. But check it out. You can get some free shares with that link if you're not a Web Bull subscriber and using it and you want to. Like I said, I just signed up yesterday. I'm just waiting for my account to be approved, and I will be rocking and rolling with you guys because there's just way too many that we just know the next day that they're going to pop. And I'll be more than happy to get up at 4 a.m. and trade it real quick and go back to bed for an hour or two and get up and do the show. It don't bother me one bit. So like I said, it's fine with me. I love it. And now, like I said, we have this look down and we are just crushing them. And I'm pretty confident that we know which ones are always going up. I mean, look at our list each day. It's getting bigger and bigger, the poppers. So we kind of knew it was going to happen, and it's happening. Like NMHI, Nature's Miracle, looked at it for a while, brought it on the list the last 2 days, and last night said it was rolling, and today it was rolling. So almost probably it was up over 90%. It probably went up over 100%. At one point. So there you go. Let's get back to this though. So MLGO again, just sitting right there on the 20, and I think it could just bounce right there. So we're going to look at it in the morning, see if it wants to bounce off this bottom and the 20 right there, if it's actually going to pull back some. And again, these China stocks are a little wild. Remember, I said that a couple, like I was saying it for a while, and I think everybody sees what I mean. They just out of nowhere, they just get crazy, and this happens like maybe once a year, sometimes twice a year. You just see them get crazy like fireworks. They just start blasting off and running like 3, 4, 500%, and then it's just like all of them. It just gets crazy, and then all of a sudden they just stop, and then they all go down to like way down. So it's just the way that they run, and that's why I was explaining these China stocks before. So now I'm glad that you guys got to witness it and see what I was talking about, because this is what I'm talking about. They get crazy. So there you go, MLGO. Let's roll right through here. And there's another one, TANH, and it was setting up again. We're gonna have to see what it wants to do, but it's right there. I mean, it had that weird look. It was right there, and as the China ones are pulling back now, this started to dip down. So we don't know if it's going to roll off or if it's going to pop up, because it was setting up the run. And now that they want to pull back, it could easily, and it's looking like it just wants to either roll off or come down. It could do either or. It's sitting right over top of it, just waiting to see what it needs to do tomorrow. So we'll have a better idea. It just stopped itself on the 50. So like I said, it kind of just trapped itself to, it could go either way, no matter what it needed to do. SMSI, this was down a penny. Did run up yesterday. Has a weird look, and your 20 and your 50 are meeting up, and they like to bounce right there. It's pulling right down to the not even pulling down to the MACD. Let me see. It looks like it might have pulled itself up. It was a little bit today. Now it kind of flattened out. It just like a little healthy pullback, but nothing crazy. I looked at it earlier. It was a little bit slightly down, but not at all right now. So yeah, it just came down and must touch that 50 and the 20s curling up. I would keep an eye. Like I said, I thought it was going to run higher than its high the other day, and that was what, 148. It got up to 130 the other day on the 7th, and I still think it may get up higher than that 148 still. I think it might have potential. Look at it tomorrow, SMSI. We've been looking at it, and if it's trying to move, it's getting higher than that 148. So, that, because your 20 and your 50 are about to move right there, and it's just going to punch it. So it should get up there. I would assume it wants to move in the morning, so keep your eye on that one as well. HRYU, this one is a South Korean one, and again, it was sitting right there, ready to rock and roll. It dipped down, and it's just kind of sitting right where it could either roll right off of that MACD where it's at, and the 20 pop it up, or it could come down and go through it and come past the 20. So just waiting, and a lot of these Asian ones are just with the China ones just flip-flopping with the yin and the yang. So they are hard to exactly see what they're going to do tomorrow, but I'll be up early taking a look, and you'll know in the morning when you look at the yin and the yang if they're moving one way or the other. You're going to have an idea. These are going to follow suit, I'm sure. So we'll keep an eye on them anyway. VCIG, and I was watching them today, and like I said, you just couldn't get a good idea, and you still can't get a good idea after a close. So I think they're gonna make us wait until tomorrow anyway. VCIG has that look like it wanted to bottom tomorrow and then bottom today and then start ripping tomorrow. I don't know why, but it just has that look where it tried to bottom. Let me see what it did in that after hours, because it was trying to move, and it looks like it wants to roll off that MACD for whatever reason. It was pulling back a little bit, but I don't think I mean, it doesn't have much more room to pull back. I guess it could cross down and go in the basement, but um by that point, they would have. Is it going to reverse split? No, they don't even have anything. So October 1st, they had that additional $30 million, and I think it even ran that day or right around there. Yeah, it did run, and then it came down since then, and yeah, that 20's trying to curl it back up to get moving again. So keep an eye on VCIG to try to roll off that MACD. I have a feeling that one might try to tomorrow. I'm gonna watch that, and if it does, I'm telling you, this one's gonna get cruising. It could get up to that 50 at like 18 cents. Not too crazy. It's at 12, right under 13, but 5 cents on this thing is a pretty good move. So that's VCIG, and I think it still has potential right there. So we'll watch it. EJH, that was down 3 cents. And another one, it's that China one. It was looking better, and we didn't know if it wanted to bounce or not because it was looking better yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, and then today it has that bounce down. It could be at bottom. Another one, you just can't exactly tell with all these ones coming down and the yin and the yang. But it was setting up, and it still is setting up super bullish there. So. I would assume it's trying to move, but again, if they're gonna dip down hard, this could pull back. So we will watch it and something about I just saw VCIG is supposedly discussing a 1 for 25 reverse split, so be cautious. So there you go. Thank you, Laptop Travel. You know what? This Web Bull actually has some pretty good I noticed messing around with this thing, it gives you pretty decent news. So um I'll have to pull them up though. I forget even how I even got it up. But yeah, it had all the news for the company when I popped it up, and I was like, wow, that worked. But now I just popped up VCIG, and I'm looking at why Levi shares, so I don't know what the heck I did, but I'll have to take a look at that later and check it back out because like I said, I was looking at them and I was like, wow, these things have it has pretty good news source. So we can definitely use this in the morning as well and use this. So that is we'll use that web bull for more than one thing, just not only the early morning prices. I'll figure out how to get the news back up on it. So it's each ticker. But yeah, EJH, again, we're gonna have to watch and see how these China stocks are looking in the morning. WTO, and I was hoping we'd have a better look, like I said, in the by tonight, but they're just not giving it to us. WTO, same situation. It's the 20s at 52 cents. I think this one's gonna have to pull back some more as it just dipped today. Yeah, I think you're gonna have a little bit more pullback on this bad boy, WTO. So that's another China one that just seems to be pulling back right now anyway. I don't think it matters if the yin or the yang were moving one way or the other. It had run up there and now it's just coming down and the 50 is too far from it. So just let that pull back. And that is that WTO. We nailed that one on time. Didn't we do NDRA? I think we did actually. I wrote down like three or four of them twice here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we did this for sure. Um yeah, definitely did that. I can look at it and see that. Let's just roll over here. SYRS. This one, what did it do? It was up another 6 cents today. I'm telling you, this thing is crazy, guys. Um, keep an eye on it. It's going to go higher than that 215 was, and or the 230. Yeah, 230 it got up to the other day. That's right, 230 on September 30th. Um, it's going to get higher than that. It's going to run. I don't know what these guys are up to. They had that insider buying on September 12th, and this thing just looks really good. SYRS, and I know a few of you's already traded it once, but be ready to see it move again. So keep your eye on that SYRS because it looks good. FTFT, that was looking good. What did it do? It was down 2 cents today, and yeah, I guess this one wanted to pull back. It was sitting right there with a 20 and the 50, and that just pulled back to that MACD right there. So I don't know. We're gonna have to watch this one. Ran up the other day, but I thought it was gonna try to move again, and I guess I had other plans. Yeah, it's coming right down on that MACD. We'll have to look at FTFT in the morning and see if it's gonna hit it and bounce or if it wants to cross through and come down. So that's an interesting one because it was set up. And that's not exactly a China one. That's a U.S. software application. So not sure what happened there, but we'll take a look at that one in the morning just to see what it wants to do. Let's look at our chocolate factory, RMCF, Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, up another 11 cents, guys, up 5 more%. And guess what? At 6,000 in volume. So I told you guys this thing was going to move from 180s and now it's at 221. Its high was 222. It still looks like it wants to run in the top. So there you go. Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory. I told you they had good chocolate happening, and the setup is everything. There's your proof right there. This thing had like zero volume. Kind of just stuck with it because of that reason. And and again, the setup was everything on this thing. You could just see how strong it was. I think we must have come across it on our on the scanner one day. I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And but yeah, it definitely was set up and I'm telling you it's going to run up in that top probably tomorrow. So watch it again in the morning for a little momentum play and oh, let's see. PNR, I'll read that. WTO, I'll repost Laptop Travels posted an article about WTO, so we can read that at your convenience, and I'll check it out when we're done. I'll look at that article. But yeah, the chocolate factory, I'm telling you, look at this bad boy in the morning for a little momentum play. But again, just it had 6,000. Its most volume was yesterday, the highest volume, and it was 20,000. It was as low as like under 1,000 one day, 955, and just kept going up. So RMCF just shows you that you can't exactly go off of volume, and that's what most of them paid services look at. They look at the support and resistance lines and volume, and that's pretty much it. And we have a keener eye, I think, than them charts. So Laptop Travel said that it came across his new scanner. So input variables. So there you go. Yeah, like I said, it's just definitely cruising, not much volume, but definitely moving there. So that's RMCF. Let's look at LIDR real quick and see what that's doing. And we'll look at it. If anyone else wants to see anything in particular, let me know and we'll check it out. But this is that AI one, and it's spelled the letter A, and then they spell EYE AI, and it was down 5 cents, but I'll tell you what, it's still sitting right there looking pretty good. I think today, and it ran up pretty high. It ran up to 131, ran up higher than it did yesterday. And I think it ran up a little higher in the pre-market if I remember correctly. What did it say? 133, not much more. But yeah, LIDR, it's not looking bad. We'll just have to see if it tried to top, but I don't know. I think it might just be a little healthy pullback and try to move a little bit more tomorrow. So obviously if LIDR is trying to move higher than that 130 131 area, you know it's going to be cruising tomorrow because it's sitting on the 50 and the 20s rolling up to it, and it looks pretty good still, even with that pullback right there. And let's look at our buddy Holo real quick because it was down 2 cents. And I think we're going to have to see the, oh, is it going to roll off? It actually is trying to make a little base right there. Let me look at it on mine real fast. Holo. Yeah, I might have to look at this tomorrow. It was looking worse yesterday. I'm not going to lie. Um, no, it wasn't looking bad. Oh, Friday it was looking worse. Friday, that's right. Yesterday wasn't too bad, and then today it's just pulling back to 20. But I'll tell you what, it could roll off of there. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one. Um, it's not one that I don't think is going to be that crazy. Another one, again, it's a China stock one, and all of these ones kind of have that weird look, like they don't know what they want to do. And so we'll keep an eye on Holo. And it just was kind of throwing me off because it doesn't even know what it wants to do. It's sitting right there on the 20, and it could go either way. It could roll off, go higher, or come down. And almost all the China ones that we've been looking at, they have that look like that. So. And here comes another one, FAMI right here, FAMI, exact same thing, sitting on the 20 right there. It was curled up beautifully trying to roll, and now it's coming down. So they all have that look, and that's literally because of the yin and the yang doing the old reversal move, which is fine with me because we were looking at that yang anyway. And I'm telling you, that thing wants to cruise. GOSS, this thing was looking great. I mean, a really nice setup, and I still think it looks pretty good. Um, just pulling back today, but I don't see why. Keep your eye on this for the morning because if it gets up to that 108 area again, and it did, it got up to 109. Oh, it did in the after hours. Let me see. Hold on. GOSS. Watch this thing. Yeah, I'm telling you, watch this thing for the morning, guys. This thing looks great. I think today was just a little healthy pullback on it, and it actually got up there on the after hours, so it looks perfect as a matter of fact. So yeah, keep your eye on that for sure. And Holo's about to do a 1 for 20 stock split. So and that will be October 9th. So there you go with that. And we'll keep an eye on Holo. There you go. So we will watch Holo after the reverse split. Thank you, Laptop Travel, for that info as well. So we know we'll be watching that. Maxon's reverse splitting. And now Holo and I think XPON. We'll just jump to it. I believe that is reverse. Yup, they're reverse splitting too. So them three, we're going to keep an eye on it. Oh, look at that. XPON was I didn't even look at it where it was on the list. Literally, it's one away. Eva was next, and then XPON. How funny is that? So Eva, that one was setting up. I was saying it should run. It did run up a little bit today. Let me see. It doesn't even say it did anything on here. Let's see. Did it go like a I think it like got delisted or something because it says Eva X, and I don't think it was trading on here today, was it? October. It stopped on October 3rd. We didn't even notice that. That's hilarious if we didn't. Um, all right then. I guess it stopped on October 3rd back there and went delisted, I think. So EVA, I guess we're not going to look at anymore. I can't even find it. It's EVAX, and I don't even really see it many places. Here it is. Um, yeah, I guess we're not going to look at that one anymore. It was looking all right. It was sitting right there on October 3rd. I didn't even realize it stopped there. That's hilarious. But yeah, EVA is definitely not any good anymore. We'll say that. So I'm just gonna erase that one. And now we're going to look at XPON, which I was just looking at, and that does reverse split as well, I believe, tomorrow. So we are definitely keeping an eye on XPON because we already know all these reverse splits start moving. So yeah, they had a 1 for 100. They're diluting it pretty good right there. So that may take a day or two to pop. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll figure out what day it wants to move, and we'll nail that. And that's XPON. Easy GO, that was looking good, but then I think this is a China one as well. It kind of just pulled back there. It was looking great, and it's pulled back hard on that MACD, but it still was setting up super bullish. So they have something going on. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but it definitely did not like. Oh, it actually crossed down there in the after hours, huh? Yeah, it definitely didn't like the yin and the yang switching roles right there. So I'll have to keep an eye because it was trying to set up, but if this thing gets down to like 124s and a little bit lower, it may be pulling back there. Easy GO. And again, just another China one. They're just all switched up and looking crazy right now. So let's just see what they do tomorrow with all these China ones, and maybe we'll get a better idea. They all have that look where they could go either way. They're just kind of waiting to find out what needs to be done. So and we've seen that before with even the big caps and stuff. So LAZR, remember NVIDIA, they were all waiting for NVIDIA to do something at certain times. LAZR, that one was what'd that do today? Did it get up there? It jumped up a little bit, but nothing crazy. It pulled back like 6 cents, but I thought it was up a little bit. Hold on. Was it up this morning at all? It opened at 93, got up to 94, its low as 82, and it closed down at 84. So it is just kind of pulling back there. Traded between that 20 and 50 channels, what it did. So we'll have to see if it wants to try to bounce back up tomorrow. Look for it if it does. If it's red and it pulls back under that 83, it's going down some more. But I think it might just try to trade in between that channel for a minute and then get set up LAZR. So that is an auto part company, and we'll take a look at that when it's been on the list. TMC, the metals company, this was looking pretty decent. It had all them weird looks, and then yesterday kind of just had that dip and rips look, but it's coming down pretty good on the MACD right now. It was down a penny and up two in the after hours. Let me see TMC on mine because this one could get moving. Yeah, I mean it started to come down a lot softer on that MACD. It was coming down way harder before, and you could see a nice roll off on this bad boy. So let me keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. If it's trying to roll off, it'll TMC will get a good run in it. I'll tell you that. It'll probably run up to like the 130s, and it's sitting at $1, like 103 in the after hours, right around there. And yeah, it could get a nice little move. So we'll see if it wants to bounce tomorrow. So I'll watch that one. TMC. How about BJDX at Blue Jay Diagnostics? And that was down a penny and up 1%. And I think this one just pulls back and the 20 is pushing it down. It's too high up. It's at 13. It's not even that high up. It's at 13, almost 14. This is at 11. And we've seen them definitely jump up right there. It was trying to the other day on the third. And so last week it was trying to, but just couldn't do it. And now it's pushing itself down. It may need to push down a few more days and then try to bounce back up onto that 20. So I'll keep it on the list. I don't think it's down and out by no means, BJDX, and we will take a look at it. And CETX we already looked at because that one took that big old dip and we were looking at it earlier. So I put about five of them on the list tonight, like twice. That's pretty funny. CERO. I'm telling you, I looked at a ton of charts today and I think I fried my brain. I guess I can only look at like 10,000 charts. If I go over that, my brain starts frying because I feel like I did over 10,000 charts today and my brain feels fried. So CERO, let's take a look at it. This one looks really good right now. It was moving today. I know we had an asterisk yesterday, and I would keep an eye. It got up over 10 cents and in the high tens. It's back at right under 10, and I think this gets some movement tomorrow. CERO, that's one we've been watching, and it looks good. So, guys on Web Bowl, I'm not there yet because I'm waiting to be approved still, but you web bowlers tomorrow morning, take a look at CERO. That could be a mover for you. It's looking pretty decent. You know, we've been watching it for a while. It's right there curling up. So that one looks good. Let's look. GWAV. Let's check that out. Let me just roll right through the rest of this one little list real quick, and I'll check the messages. So if anybody wants to see anything in particular, let me know. I'll take a look at it real quick, and then we'll take a look at our crypto and our big cappers and everything else, our Israel, aerospace and defense. And we have our earnings, and the earnings ones have been doing great. We picked up a couple of them. We looked at one or two of them yesterday, and they were moving. So we'll go through them and see which ones they want, which ones of them want to move for tomorrow, which earnings look good. So GWAV, let's see this one. It is kind of just pulling back today. It's that waste management company. It's right below the 20. I mean, if it can get up to like 40 cents, and it did, it broke it at one point. Yeah, it got over there today, but it just can't hold itself. But I mean, it could easily tomorrow. So just keep an eye on GWAV. If it can get back over 40 cents and hold, it could start bouncing up. So that's a potential mover right there. And we looked at that a while back. And like I said, it's getting to be right there. CDT, we said this one was going to start moving, and it actually came out of the basement. It's rolling off. The 20 is coming down. It's at 12 cents, and this is at 10. And I think this one might be a gapper. So CDT, you might want to really look at in the morning because it is looking really good right there. So I think CDT is probably going to be trying to pop up and it could get to that 20. Like I said, it's at 12 cents, a little over 12. And then your 50's coming up to like 14 and a half. And yeah, you could definitely see this thing moving. So CDT's at Conduit Pharmaceuticals. We've looked at it for a while and kind of nailed it down to when it's going to pop right here. So there you go. Let's see what Shot did. Shot was down 3 cents and it's sitting right at the right spot. It was trying to curl up, just went flat right there. And little bit of healthy pullback. I don't think it's anything bad. Well, let me hop on here. SHOT. Yeah, it still looks pretty healthy to me. It just looks like it just wasn't ready today, to be honest with you. So take a look at Shot SHOT and see if it's moving tomorrow. I mean, it could just make that line, like make that hard turn going up and get popping there. So it's in the right spot. SHOT. APDN. Wasn't this one set? Oh yeah, this was the one that's sitting right there. Yeah, keep your eyes on this, guys. This thing's gonna run. I'm telling you, this thing's gonna run. It's about to start curling up. It's running that bottom. It has all the looks. It's run up each day. It ran up yesterday to 43, and then it came back down. This morning it opened at 38. It ran up to 41. It's back to 36. So you're gonna get that jump around, but you're gonna about to get a pop on it too. So APDN is one that you want to have your eyes on because that one is set up and it wants to run. It's right there and you're going to see it pop. So I'm going to watch that one for sure. And again, it's at 36 cents. And like I said, they're going to run up and then pull back a little bit. So you got to trade them smart. But I'm telling you, this thing's going to run. So just find that bottom. We'll keep looking at it, but watch it tomorrow. That's for sure. And see if it's ready. BE is Bloom Energy. And this one just kind of pulling back too. It was sitting on that line. I had it marked because I didn't know what it wanted to do, and it looked like it was great. I'd assumed it would have ran up to like the $11 mark today. And again, doesn't look terrible, just a little pullback. And I would expect it to start popping up off that MACD. So BE, I think, is going to get a little roll off, which will honestly be a little better momentum than even if it bounced off. If it rolls off and rolls off and bounces at the same time, which it looks like it wants to do, Bloom Energy is going to catch some good energy right there and really be blooming. So check out Bloom Energy. And like I said, tomorrow we should try to see it, try to crawl off the MACD. So I'm going to be looking at this, and I've been going through them for the most part every day and pretty much telling you which ones want to run. I've been posting them lately, and you can kind of see. I mean, BURU ran 140 plus percent today. We had multiple ones. NMHI, that's one we looked at for a long time. Stopped looking at it and just nailed it down to the day. The Yang was up. We knew that. DJT. So, and that LASC, I told you that that had that bounce look yesterday. LASC, remember we looked at this thing and it had came way down, and I was like, man, that looks like it wants to bounce. That one went nutty. It opened at 416 and got up to 914 and had over 68 million in volume. And honestly, it's still pulling back. I'm not even sure it's ready to, I think it might be coming down again, and we'll catch it on another one. So we'll keep our eye on LASE, but it was a great trade today, I'll tell you that. And it was on the list yesterday with an asterisk, and I even wrote watch bounce is what I wrote, and boom. It sure did watch that bounce. It was a beauty. So that was LASE, and it was a beauty right there. So let's look at ABAT, because this looked like it wanted to go to bat, and it's just wow, it's just coming down. This is that mining company. I wouldn't be surprised if this tries to move up. Um, Here we go. Yeah, CDT, Conduit Pharmaceuticals. Let's see it. Timmy's on here, my good friend Timmy's on here. And yeah, I'm telling you, CDT, look at it in the morning. It should be popping. Curling up real nice. Came out of the basement. 20's coming down. It's at 12 cents. This is at 10. This is over 10 and a half, and it's the 20's just over 12. And you should see it try to continue that movement today. I mean, it did run up a little bit. It should have kept the momentum and closed probably closer to 11 cents would have been better, but I don't see it being bad right there. CDT, it should continue the momentum tomorrow and really get cruising. So I would be watching it. I asterisked it a couple times, and obviously we've been watching that bad boy for a little while, CDT. So yeah, it definitely looks really good. So I'll look at it for sure in the morning for you, Timmy, and let you know exactly what it looks like at 7 a.m. And Timmy can tell you during during the um COVID times and the Trump administration, he'll tell you I was texting him at what 7 a.m. every single morning with 100% poppers and just crazy. Oh, it was just insanity what we were doing back then. And like I tell you, is this we already caught the pattern of what we need to look for. You can see that for sure. And yeah, I think we're going to see a little bull run going. I'm not saying it's going to be the craziest bull run forever, but all we need is like 2 or 3 months, and you can lock in some crazy profits. And again, sort of why I was talking about these options at the beginning, because you're going to make way more percentage with that leverage and take, I think it's less risk, to be honest with you, because, and I'll just give a real easy example, and we'll just talk about what's a dollar. What one's what one can I here? We'll do the Yang anyway because it's easy. It's at 325, right? So you buy the options, and I know because I was looking at them today. I can't tell you exactly what they were, but w- around say around $50 you're going to get an option, and now you're going to have 100 shares, and you're picking your expiration for about 3 weeks out. And so yeah, now you just picked up 100 shares for $50, and on the Yang. And and it's at $3.25. So clearly, if you tried to buy 100 shares, it would be a little more than $50. It'd be over 300. So you just bought 100 shares for less, way less than you could. And so yeah, you bought them for about $50, and now you put yourself in an expiration. So you're comfortable with the Yang going to $4. It's at 325. And so you're comfortable going to $4. So that's your strike price. You need it to hit there, and you're comfortable. You think it's probably going to 450. So you pick your $4 strike price, knowing that it leaves room to jump up. It keeps you in the money. And I don't even know if this is the exact way to do it. This is just how I've been doing it. And they've been working out pretty well. I could tell you that. I sold two of them today that were both up crazy amount of percent, and they weren't even up that much. It's just like I said, the intrinsic value and the timing and everything, and they're all different. There is a formula, and I did know it when I learned through the course. You can figure out exactly what you're going to make, and now they have apps and stuff. You can just put it right in there and figure it out real quick. But there is a pretty simple formula there that you can do, and so yeah, you can that's weird. That just paused. I didn't even realize. But anyway, here we go. But yeah, there's a simple formula. You can figure out what the percentage is going to be for the most part. And but yeah, it's just crazy with these options. I'm telling you, it's just more lucrative and seems to be safer if you're very confident in what you're looking at. Again, you give yourself that expiration date, and you can buy them as far out as like a year or so. Again, the video one's at 185, and the thing ran to like $1,300 a year later. Yeah, they have 2, 3 year contracts, so you could have them way out there and nail them like that. So they're bigger companies, but something like this, you're confident this thing's gonna run up to like 350, $4. And again, it's at 325. You could buy a strike price at 350 and know you're gonna hit it, and it gets up to four, and all of a sudden you're up like a way more percentage than if you had just bought the stock. And again, now you have leverage, and you have 100 shares of it, and you got it for $50 as opposed to over 300. And you made more money than you would have if you just bought the stock and had bought 100 shares at over $300. And don't ask me why this works this way, but this is just how options work. So I'm just letting you know this is what I discovered, and a lot of people, like I said, the hedge funds and everybody, that's what they do. They're not necessarily really interested in like I said, the small caps and penny stocks and stuff like that. They don't really care about them. They just want to make sure that they're safe, and they're going up like at least 2 or 3%. And again, on an option, 2 or 3% is not always 2 or 3%, because it went up 2 or 3% on that stock for the day. It could have gone up like 40, 50, 60% on an option. So that's the difference that you're seeing, and that you will see. And so yeah, just check them out. And again, I'll have my buddy jot down some info for me that I can pass along to try to make it a little easier. And because clearly I'm not an expert. And like I say, all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. I just share my experiences and what I kind of know. So I will definitely get some more info on it. And but yeah, that's how options basically work, and why they are more effective, in my opinion, than just trading regular stocks. So there you go with that. And we were discussing it a little bit ago, but yeah, I'm telling you, they just pay out better. BNG, and you know what it is, I think, and this is what a couple of the hedge fund guys told me. When you're trading stocks, it seems to be the hardest thing, and I think everyone's about to shake their head yes, to hit that sell button. For whatever reason, when you own a stock, it seems like you always think that it's going to go higher. Even if you're looking at the chart, like, man, this thing's going to come down, you're like, it should go higher. It's your emotions get in the way every single time, and it makes it so hard to hit that sell button. Well, when you look at that thing and you're like, well, this thing's going to expire in 2 weeks, and it's up, and I'm looking at this price and it's way up right now. Um, I have to hit the sell button. I don't really have a choice right now. I'm not, my emotions can't get in the way, because there's really no other option right now. I have to take the money and roll because if I don't, it would probably the probability and risk that it's not staying up here is pretty high, and I don't have another month to let it dip down and come back up. So it's either I'm taking it now or I'm going to be out. And then it makes it a little easier to hit that sell button. So that's another reason why they do it as well, because it's a little less on your emotions, I think. So that's another benefit to options, I believe. BNGO, here we go. Let's see what our BNGO did. That just came down and sitting on the 20, and another one that kind of just coming down to the MACD and could easily roll off. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. And let's look at Bolt. And this one was trying to run up yesterday and just a little pullback. And again, I think this one's just trading between that channel right there and it's going to get moving some more. So I think Bolt still has some in it. YI is a China one. We thought it was going to continue to run up at the top. Ran up a little bit there, but it is kind of, I think it might have to pull back now that these China ones, it would have probably ran up a little bit higher if it didn't, if all the China ones weren't coming down. But that I think you're gonna, and it was still kind of green today. It opened at 108, got to 118, closed at 112, and but I think it's gonna have to run down. Laptop Travel said an old trader's joke and lesson. Technician and fundamentalist having lunch. A knife falls from the table and lodges in the top of the fundamentalist shoe. Why didn't you move your foot? Asked the technician. I thought it would go. I thought it would go back up. Was the reply. That's pretty funny on a falling knife. There you go. I mean, it's the truth. When you hold on the stocks, you kind of see them, watch them fall back down, and they're like, "Oh, I think it'll go back up." And when you're locked into an option with an expiration date and you're looking at it, sometimes you already know you're not going to have that kind of time. You're like the probability and risk that that thing is going to come back down, and by the time that expires, it is not coming back up. So it's either now or never, and it kind of forces you to be honest with you. So there you go with that one. And here's CDT. Oh, what they file? Something. They filed some Form 4 for something. I'll have to look at that. Laptop Travel just posted that out. And oh, they got some insiders are selling, huh? CDT has insiders selling, so that's pretty good there. Let's see what I'm telling you, it looks good. I'm gonna look at it in the morning anyway for Timmy, so we will check it out. Let's look at GRI for Stonky Stonks 85.20. We looked at this last night and it looked really good. And or was it this morning? I don't even remember, but it looked good. I remember looking at it and looked good. It did jump up today, and it does look pretty nice, huh? What did it run up to here? Let me pull this up on mine just to get a better idea. I think didn't it run up this morning to 51 cents. It opened at 35. I think we went over it this morning as well. I think we looked at it last night and it was running up this morning. Still looks kind of good. I mean, it has that resistance there of 50, but it got through it once and it should get through again. So GRI is not looking bad at all. Um, just make sure, obviously, in the morning, it's trying to get through. Honestly, it's still got to get through that 43 first. So if it gets through 43, it'll get to that 50 with no problem. So in the morning, if it can jump up, it's right under 42 cents. So if it can get up to this 43 and stay up there, GRI will be a runner, and then it'll get up to that 50 cent area. So that's GRI right there. And let me see, MBLY. Let's see that for Jennifer Lee. MBLY. Let's see. 1224. Oh, did we go over this yesterday? I kind of feel like we did, and it was looking really good there. It still looks good. It ran up today, 1279, opened at 1213, its low is 1204. It's at 1224, and it's just coming down on that MACD. Let me see. MBLY. Yeah, I think you're gonna have this roll right off as well. This is an Israel auto part company. But yeah, I think this one has to roll off that MACD and get rolling there. is what it looks like to me. So yeah, I think this one's going to try to get cruising. Has that resistance at 1340, but I almost think it's going to jump up on there and get cruising. So we'll watch that one, MBLY. And how about Uber looks really good, huh? That's about to cross through real hard and get cruising. Yeah, I would watch Uber tomorrow. That could be a nice momentum play. It was up $1.58 today, up 8 cents, and I don't know what they have going on, but Uber looks pretty solid right now. So I would say UBER Uber is looking good there. Jennifer Lee always coming up with a good ones. Um, TMC that's a gravestone candlestick. Here you go. And like I say, laptop travel, he always informs me what these candlesticks. Now I have to go back and look at it again. TMC. Hold on. Oh yeah, like that. Okay. Gotcha. I do enjoy kind of looking at them. I don't think I'll ever learn them, to be honest with you, because I don't really, I do care, but it doesn't really matter what the candlestick looks like. I just know when it looks like a certain way, I know what's going to happen. And that's all that matters to me. So they can have any name they want, and I'll just keep calling them this guy, that guy, and whatever. And we still know what's going on. So that's all that matters. SLDB, that looks nice though, huh? That was curling up to that line. I think this has to get through tomorrow, to be honest with you. And once it gets up to that 738, it tried to get up today. It was up to 724. Your 20s like right there at 727. It was right there. But also, um, it's going to make that resistance and support at 738 and then get cruising. So I think SLDB, solid biosciences, is going to be a solid play. So that's another good one, Jennifer Lee. I'm telling you, Jennifer Lee comes up with some pretty good ones. I'm telling you, she definitely has some good ones. Every night she pops out like three or four, and they're usually pretty solid setups. Ones I never see on the chart or on my scanners or anything, and usually kind of odd ones, but sometimes. But yeah, like this one, SLDB, never heard of it. And yeah, that one looks pretty solid. Not only is it setting up, it's setting up pretty long term too. So it wants to run and then run up, pull back, but then run up some more even further down the road. So that is SLDB. Let's look at Helivax, HLVX. We haven't looked at that in a little while. HLVX, I bet that's probably looking pretty decent because it was looking pretty good not long ago. And yeah, it's right there. I remember the 20 was like just riding right over it. It was just kind of jumping around. We had it on the list, and now it's finally looking pretty decent. So good eye on that one, Stonky Stonks. That one is looking pretty nice finally. HLVX looking much better. So I would say we'll keep an eye on that one. I like it. And that's one we looked at for a little while there. And again, we picked up that look on them when we knew that they weren't exactly ready to run, so we dropped a few off. And that's exactly why I was going through the list today and kind of just pulling up some and going through it. I literally went through a ton of them today and was just jotting them down real fast. I want to go back through them real quick, but I kind of shrunk it down, obviously, and picked out a bunch that were from before that are setting up that exactly like this HLVX that we kind of just dropped off because we knew we found that new setup and we knew exactly what was going on. Well, some of them obviously 2 or 3 weeks go by and now they're starting to get in that right spot. So this is pretty much one of them cases right here, HLVX. And we're always early anyway, but now we just know exactly which ones are going to be popping. So it makes it a little easier to drop some off, but we got to remember to pop them back on the list. So I was just like, and it's honestly they move around just so much anymore that I just figured I'll just do this pretty much weekly. Just go back because if I keep up on it and just go back 1 week or so, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I can do it real fast to the asterisk ones and keep us updated on any that we just kind of dropped off. So and that they'll be setting up for us for 3 weeks down the road. So I kind of have a good plan and everything else. But they just jumped around so much and everything was so volatile that they would set up and then a week later they'd be terrible and then reverse splitting, and it'd be a whole new list, and it just wasn't really working out. But I think we might see a normal market pretty soon, or somewhat anyway, and we can get back to rolling through them. So that was HLVX. And let me just take a quick look, see what else, if I missed anything. Boom. I think we got all them guys. All right. I think John Wong just posted a couple. Charles Long, how are you? LAC. That's at Lithium Americas Corp. And these lithium ones have been looking good. It ran up yesterday. It looks like just some healthy pullback, to be honest with you. If it had run up today, it would have had to get into the top. And I guess it just wasn't really ready. LAC. So I don't think it's really crashing down. I'll have to look at it in the morning. On mine in the after hours, it did come down a little more. What did it close at? 272 there. That says about that right here. But yeah, I mean your 20 is still coming up on it at 252. So it could pull back a little bit more and then get caught up and run up some more with that. So we'll keep our eye on LAC as well and just see if it does want to pull back just to that 250 area and then get cruising, maybe even the 260s, and then get bumped back up right there. So LAC, and again, one that we've been looking at, but it's kind of stair stepping its way up, and these lithium ones have been pretty good. So and the industrial metals and minings, they've all been kind of running around right now. So we'll keep an eye on that. BKSY. Here we go. BKSY is Black Sky Technology. That's up 18 cents. That one's a looking good too, right there. That 20's coming for it. Had a weird look yesterday and cruised up today. So you would think it's going to move up tomorrow with that kind of look. BKSY. Let me see here. Yeah, that looks good to me. John Wong. I think that's a nice one right there. I think you might squeeze a little run out of this. It has some good resistance up there at like 7, and this thing's at like 5. There's nothing really in between there, and it just jumped up onto that 20, and it looks good. So I think BKSY is looking good, John Wong. I think that's a good find right there. So there you go with that one, and let's just cruise through the rest of them and look at what else we have going on. LSB. Lakeshore, this one, oh, we were looking at this yesterday as well to bounce off that bottom. And again, I don't know if it's still ready to uh ready to really pop up, but it did have a nice little pop. We were looking at this LSB yesterday. And saying it was probably going to move up a little bit off that line if it didn't get into the basement. It's exactly what it did. I don't think it's really going to bounce real hard yet, but could just kind of bounce around on that bottom area and get set up to run. So we'll keep an eye on it so we know that it's going to run around, and you can probably catch good trades on this one as it bounces around. That's Lakeshore Biopharma. So we'll keep our eye and watch this one and see if we can catch the prices as it bounces around, because it should bounce around right down here as it sets up to get moving there. And let's look at GROY. GROY, Gold Royalty Corp, down 4 cents. Another one just set up perfectly and just a little pullback to the I think we're going to see a bunch of them rolling off the MACD in the next day or so, because this one looks like it wants to as well. So we'll keep our eye on that to do that roll off. And there's so many that look like they want to. And then you have all the China ones that don't know what they want to do. So kind of interesting looks out there. GAUZ, we'll hit the Israeli Aerospace and Defense real quick and check out what they're up to. GAUZ was down 19 cents. And like I said, they're setting up like a week or two out, maybe 3 weeks. We'll keep an eye on it. TATT. This one is setting up. Actually, this one is it's setting up to be super bullish, just pulling back at the moment. Was up a little bit today, but pulling back there. So telling you in about a week or two, we're going to be watching something go on. PRZO. Power Zero wants to run up. I'll tell you that. You can look at that one for tomorrow to run. So PRZO wants to move. ESLT. That one is at the top, and it may, I don't know. I think it should come down, but it may run up in that top. But again, setting up to be super bullish for like 3 weeks down the road. So there you go with our Israeli aerospace and defense. Let's take a quick look at crypto, just see what it's doing right now. Bitcoin is it's at 62,244. And let me just get a better look. Let me pull up the chart here on my app. And here we go. It's still pulling back there. I mean, it has to get crossing through and it's not ready yet. So Solana's at 144. They're just parachuting themselves down so they don't get crushed right there. Solana's in between the 50 and 100. And again, just kind of staggering right there. I don't think it's going to do anything too crazy. Cardano's at 34 cents. Let's see what that's trying to do. That one actually is going to pull back some. So Cardano looks like it's going to go down a little. Ethereum actually is at 2,450, and it's actually a little bit green. Um, Trying to make that hard curl up. I think this one's going to get knocked down, but it's building a really nice base there. So Ethereum's an interesting one. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Doge is back down to 10 cents. That was in the 12s, and it is between this one is between the 50 and the 100. So maybe they're going to try to get set up again for the weekend, possibly. I'll keep an eye on it. You know, we go over it in the morning and at night, and I look at them all day. So when I see something, you know, I tell you, just don't see anything too crazy. Bonk cross through going down, so that's pulling back. And it's going to have to reset up there. So that is bonk. And that is our crypto report. And so yeah, that's our crypto right there. Let's go through real quick. Let's look at real fast what's the earnings ones real quick, and then we'll hit our big cappers real fast and see what else anybody else wants to look at. So let me know if you want to see anything else in particular. How about Applied APLD? We've talked about this one before, and they look like they're going to have some pretty decent earnings at the moment. It does look like, I mean, it's going to have to curl up there hard. I have to see this one at the after hours. APLD. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it wants to go up, but I'm not so sure right there. So that's an interesting look. Yeah, that is interesting. APLD with an earnings tomorrow. I don't know. It gives you like that look like yeah, it wants to go up, but I have a feeling it doesn't. Um, I'll have to look at that in the morning. I can't really tell. HELE. Helen of Troy. I have no idea what this is. This is a Bermuda company up 47 cents. But this one looks like it wants to try to roll off and go. So this one actually looks pretty good. HELE for an earnings tomorrow. That one doesn't look bad to try to move. I'd say that one tries to go up right there. E2 is ETWO, and that is Ethiopian Parent Holdings. And it's up 9 cents. And wow, this one's got way down there at the bottom. This one's going to set up nice. So E2, I think, is going to be a good one. We could actually keep an eye on that one, but I think that one might try to cruise tomorrow a little bit. Let me see that on my chart. E2, yeah, I think that one could try to curl up tomorrow. So we'll keep an eye on that. BSET, Bassett Furniture, we know that company. Um, just know who they are. I don't know them, but here we go. That one actually looks good. It should try to curl back up and try to move some more. So that one doesn't look bad on an earnings as well. So I think Bassett tries to go up a little. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. AZZ as Inc. I'm amazed that they allowed them to have that as a stock ticker. AZZ. It sounds like ass as. That's pretty impressive. There's some that they turn down. I'm not gonna lie. They won't let you have SHIT. I can tell you that right now. So you won't see that come up as a stock ticker. Um, and FUCK or any of them words. They won't be stock tickers ever. So I'm just amazed that AZZ was never said that they couldn't do it, but they got it. So AZZ. Let's see what AS wants to do. Um, it looks like it wants to come down tomorrow on that earnings, so I'm not so sure that's going to be pretty. RELL is Richardson Electronics, and it is just pulling back, but setting up super bullish. I could see him bouncing up yet tomorrow. Rel, I could see that going up. Um, INTZ. Intrusion. We've looked at this one not long ago, and it actually looks really good. INTZ. Might want to keep your eye on that one, actually. INTZ. It looks really nice. And they have earnings apparently tomorrow, and it looks good right there. So BYRN. Let's see, down 42, up 69 cents in the after hours, and kind of pulling back there. Let me see, BYRN. I think that one pulls back. So that one's going down. And that is our earnings for tomorrow. Let me cruise through and see what our big caps are doing. Then we'll look at our laptop travel list there because I didn't write it down and I don't want to forget his list. So it's right there. Actually, we'll cruise through it real quick. Here we go. I just pulled it up. Um, how do I feel about NMHI? Isn't that nature's miracle, right? NMHI, I liked it yesterday, that was for sure. Let's look at it today, though. I'm not so sure that it keeps that momentum tomorrow. A lot of them don't like to, and once they're popping up like this, they you got to kind of trade them out, especially the way this thing looks. I mean, it ran up to 34 cents this morning. It opened at 14. It went nuts. I'm not saying it can't move up tomorrow, but the shorters, and this is the problem. The shorters get a hold of these things. Once they run up like that, they get a hold of it and it's over. Not saying it can't run up to the top, but it's something they have to look at in the morning. And gap filled at 39 cents. Tomorrow, I don't know about that one. Let me see. Hold on. At 17 and all the way to 39 tomorrow. I don't know about that. That would be a pretty tough one tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so yeah, it would have to be kind of super bullish. And the way it wicked up today and the way it looks, I mean, not saying it's not impossible, but it just I'm not sure it's going to. Let's put it that way. And MHI laptop travel said yucks. Yeah, it just the problem is, and I'll tell you what the problem is with it. It ran up too high today, too fast, and didn't catch enough momentum with it, and that's just a problem for them. What I have over 109 million in volume, and the other problem is too is none of these can keep momentum for more than one day. And again, it has a lot to do with the shorting. It's just out of control. There's these groups that just get a hold of these things and they just drive that thing down. And again, it's so much easier to drive a price down than it is to ride them up. So I mean, all you got to do is find the ones that ran up super high and basically buy an option for like a week out. You know it's not staying up, it's going down. We could do it easily. I just don't do I that's just not my style, but there's entire groups that are devoted to it and they just smash these stocks straight down to the ground. So you see it a lot and unfortunately that's what you have to factor that in as well, of course. So that's NMHI, Nature's Miracle. But yeah, we definitely liked it yesterday. I can tell you that. We were all over it. And again, we looked at it way before, took it off the list, and I've been kind of going through them the last few days, and that one caught my eye. UCAR, a couple other ones I'll be throwing on there. And like I said, I just wanted to tighten up the list real quick just so I didn't just we'll just go through it real quick and boom, boom, boom. We'll have a bunch of good setups and bam, they're going to be popping. So it'll be nice. ABLV, this one looks really good. Laptop travel. I have to say it's curling up nice, hitting that 20. Everything's curling up on Able View. That's a China company. Again, one that we're gonna have to look at in the morning. It looks great to move, but could it change? Yeah, it could turn around at any moment. You know how they are. But right now it looks really good. Let me look at it on mine in the after hours. ABLV. Yeah, no, it looks solid. I'll tell you that. ABLV, you might want to jot that one down. It looks good. Again, I apologize I didn't see his laptop travels list. so I didn't jot them all down on the when I sent them out. But here you go. Actually, you know what? There you go. Let me just repost it so that everybody can follow along. There you go. I just reposted laptop travels list. And that way you know which ones I'm looking at real quick. So AIMD, yup. Um, Another one looking really solid right there. Two of them right there look great. ALBT, is that one we did? Yeah, we did Avalon Globo Care. We know that one looks good. BGLC. BGLC. I mean, another one should get rolling off that MACD. I don't see it not doing that. So that one looks like it's going to set up to be good. COCP, Co Crystal Farm, looks really good too. I think we looked at this the other day. And yeah, it's setting up to be pretty bullish. Just watch if it wants to pull back into the 160s, but COCP looks pretty nice. Let's look at COOT, Australian Oil Seeds Holdings Limited. Um, it's at 80 something cents, 88 cents, came down 10 cents in the after hour. So I have to look at this bad boy real quick on mine to try to get a better idea. COOT. Yeah, unfortunately, it ran up, but it just took that big dip in the after hours on Coot. So that one is pulling back now already, laptop travel, but it did run up. Um, CPIX, Cumberland Pharmaceuticals, is looking nice to try to continue its way through that 50 at 133. It's at 132. If it gets over that 133, it's going to move up to like in the 140s. So CPIX not looking bad at all. DDC, I remember looking at this one a few times. This is a Hong Kong company. Just a little pullback there. This one might be pulling back. I'd have to look at this tomorrow. And again, all these Asian ones are just it has that look where it could go either way. Let's put it that way. And so yeah, I'll look at that bad boy again. Um Coot, look at its daily history from where it fell in March. Let's look at Coot real quick and see where it went in March. Oh yeah, it was way up there, huh? I saw that. It was up. It almost looked like a shell company to me at first but the opposite. If it was reversed, it would have looked like a shell company. It did jump out at me. In March, it was well, in February 21st, it was at 11.40, and then March 11th, it was at $10, and the day it pulled back was March 21st. It opened at 8:45 and got down to 250 there. And then the next day it came down, and then it's just been continuously running down there. And that's COOT. And yeah, it looks like it wants to try to move, I think. I don't see why. Oh, that and then it dipped after the. I was gonna say, wait, didn't it just dip in the after hours? We were just looking at it. Yeah, it did want to move, trust me, and it did. It jumped up there today, got up to almost 90 cents, and then it pulled back in the after hours. So it didn't really jump a whole lot. It tried to, and then it pulled back right there. Maybe it's going to be that dip and rip situation. So we'll keep an eye on that COOT. Maybe that's what it's doing. It's trying to dip and rip right there. So we might have to look at it. Let me get back to your list right here because we were at what DDC, I believe. But yeah, we'll look at that COOT and see if it is a dip and rip situation on that one. DDC, let's look. Oh yeah, that was that Hong Kong one. We're gonna take a peek at that in the morning. Um, let's see, where was I? DLPN. Dolphin Entertainment. Let's look at these Dolphins and see if they want to play. It looks really good. It's setting up, honestly, it's setting up super bullish, building a nice base right here in like the 64. It's at 68, but it's building a really nice base. And let it get to like over, and it did. It's at 68 right now, 69. All it has to do is get to like in that 69 range. It got there today. If it can get there tomorrow, it can definitely bounce up. I'm not sure if it's exactly ready, but it's setting up to be bullish. If it doesn't want to run tomorrow, it's going to be pretty bullish. That DLPN looking good. East Isn't that a drilling company, right? East Side Distilling. Oh, a distilling. Well, I said drilling. I thought it was a drilling company. It's a distilling company. No, it was something with a D. I'm familiar with the stock ticker. I just thought it was that. But it's distilling. Now I know it's a winery company. I'll remember East is a distillery, not a drilling company. I thought it was a drilling company. That's pretty funny. Here we go. Uh it curled through. It's just kind of running flat there. It's running like west to east and east to west at the moment. Let me get a better look on mine just to see what it can do. Yeah, it's running super flat. I'll look at it tomorrow and see if East Side Distilling wants to distill us any wine and get moving. So we'll look at it and see what it's up to. And it is not a drilling company, that's for sure. But they're drilling for wine. EFOI, Energy Focus. This one is just kind of, oh, it looks pretty nice right there. It looks like it's going to bounce around a little bit and really set up for like a week or two out. I'd say 2 or 3 weeks out. Give EFOI like 3 weeks and it'll be really nice. We'll look at it in 2 weeks and it'll be good setting up. GREE, that one could be a nice little bounce play. Keep an eye on that one right there. GRE. I'm gonna look at that on mine real quick. Yeah, that one looks like it could be a bounce play right there. So watch that one in the morning. GRE. That could move. KWE. I remember looking at this. Oh yeah, it's that aerospace and defense for Canada. Let's take a look at it. It is setting up, I'll tell you that. That 20 and 50 is pinching it right now. It's getting pretty good right there. So KWE, we're gonna have to take a look at that one and see if it really wants to get cruising. And because it looks like it's trying to set up. I know we were looking at it before, it wasn't exactly ready, but now it's almost ready. So keep your eye on that KWE. That's a good one. LEDS. Let's see. Let's see. LEDS. That is a semiconductor in Taiwan. Just giving me like a different look right there. Hold on. Let me LEDS LEDs. Yeah, I mean it giving me that reverse look like almost all the Asian ones are. So I'll have to look at that one again just because it's just telling me both things. MLEC. What does that say? Mulick Sciences. This is in Luxembourg. Um it is trying to get moving, but I don't know if it's ready yet. I'm not so sure MLEC is ready yet, so we'll keep an eye. I'll see you tomorrow if it is. NCL, that's not Net Capital. That's Northhand Corp. Um, that one looks like it wants to get running though. It was running a little bit today, but NCL looks good. Keep an eye on that one tomorrow. That one looks nice. SELX. So yeah, NCL, I'll write that one down. NCL, see if that one moves. Oh, SELX is looking really good too. Take a look at that one. SELX. That one looks nice. Um, 119, it was up 11 cents, but yeah, it's setting up to be super bullish as well. So that one looks good. And Swag, SWAG, Strand and Company up 4 cents. And this one, oh, this one should try to curl through and get rolling as well. So Swag looks pretty nice right there. And SYBX, let's see it. This one would have to bounce off. Oh, that one's an interesting. I'd have to look at this one in the morning. It's a real interesting one. SYBX. Everything's interesting about it. I think it pulls back, is what I would have to say. I think it comes back down right there. So that's SYBX, but I'd take a look at that in the morning as well. And there you go. Yeah, that's a nice looking list. Laptop travel. I like that one for sure. And let's go ahead and do our big caps, of course. That's what we're missing here. We did everything else, and let's look at our big caps. Let's see what happened. Our Chinese stocks lead Asia lower on stimulus concern. That's tonight's news. Wall Street closes higher on tech buying as investors wait on inflation data. And um Stock futures are a little changed after major averages post winning session. So not a whole lot of news there. I was just checking out to see. But it does look like the Chinese stocks are messing things up at the moment. But let's look what ours are doing, our big caps, and what we want to see. SPY was up 537. I'm telling you, this thing is so bullish, guys. It's about to make a hard curl up and go absolutely nuts. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on, but it is looking really good right there. And let's keep rolling. Let's look at GameStop. It pulled back. We thought it would, and it's going to continue to pull back a little bit. So I'll let you know when it sets up. AMC was looking better the other day, and I think you probably had that dip in that bottom. I think we are going to see it start trying to get back to normal and bounce back up now finally. And that's AMC, so we'll watch for that one. Could be the bottom there. Chewy looks like it's trying to get moving again, so may just bounce between the 27 and that 30, and it's at 29.50 right now. So just watch it bounce between them prices right there for CHWY. And that is our Chewy. And let's look at our Mag 7, NVIDIA, up 517. This thing's just blasting off. Um, yeah, looking good. I don't see it really pulling back right now, that's for sure. NVDA, if I could type it in. Yeah, it definitely looks pretty good to try to move. And again, they're just set up super, super bullish anyway. It's getting to the top. That's the only thing that I'm worried about. Is it going to hit that, pull back, and try to reset up? But again, just super bullish. Apple, AAPL up another $4. And like we said yesterday, that pullback, this thing is super, super bullish as well. So I think Apple is and it's still gonna have to, it's gonna make that either hard curl up or maybe it pulls back tomorrow. Again, they're setting up for like 2 weeks out. So they're not, they could just pull like jump around a little bit as they really set up. So Apple's like a good 2 weeks out. Google, let me get that in there, up $1.31. They have that antitrust thing going on, and this thing's coming down. And the 20 wants to pick it up there, but again, it could just kind of pull back and bounce off this 50 right here at 163. It got down to 164 today. And yeah, we'll have to see. It is bullish. It looks like it wants to get moving. Just not sure if tomorrow they're going to be super, super green. We're going to have to take a look at that, obviously, first thing in the morning. Amazon, AMZN, that was up $1.92. And another one, I just don't feel like it's ready to get cruising today. So let's see if they pull back tomorrow some. Meta was up $8.11, and another one. It's running up in this top. Its earnings are like pretty soon, or October 30th, the day before Halloween, or Mischief Night, huh? Mischief Night earnings report there. But Meta, another one. I think it's just gonna have to come out of that out of the top. It went back in there, so it's probably gonna try to run up higher tomorrow, I'd assume. So Nvidia and Meta are probably gonna try to run some more tomorrow. Microsoft, let me type it in right. I didn't even do that. MSFT. Let me put it in. Holy cow, I can't even type now. But Microsoft was up $5, and again, I don't think it's really ready to get moving. So it's about 2 weeks out. So that thing's going to bounce around as well. And Tesla up 367, and another one. I just don't think they're ready. They're just kind of hanging out there and setting up for like 2 or 3 weeks down the road. They are going to get super bullish. So let's just find the bottom prices, catch our options on the way up, and now all Mag 7s, all of them. How's that sound? Because that's what I'm going to plan on doing right there with the Mag 7s. We're just going to nail them every day. And I'm telling you, the Spy is looking good. And we can nail that every day, too. That one's been easy lately. So we can just nail that with our options every day. Nike's back to $80, and let's watch it pull back. Maybe we'll get it back in the 70s again, and we'll run them options again. So let's do Nike one more time. I'll tell you is when it's ready. Rivian is almost ready here. It's trying to get curled up now. I think Rivian's bottom was October 4th at 983. We're sitting at 1047, and I think Rivian's going to try to get moving. It's going to have to get over. Well, it's that's going to come down to here. Once it gets into like the $11 range, it's going to get moving there for Rivian. So let me see what it did on mine. Yeah, it's right there, guys. I'm telling you, Rivian's going to try to move. So keep an eye on that. We'll have to look at the options on Rivian tomorrow. PLTR just keeps running higher and higher. I keep telling you, is if it's if it's green, you know it's a good run. Went up like over 6% today. So another one, just crazy. Sophie's setting up. I'm telling you, that thing's setting up to get cruising. I'll be checking them. Look for them options as well because they're going to be good. Let's look at Boeing. It was down $1.26, up 55 cents, just sitting in the right spot there. And yeah, kind of an interesting look to be honest on Boeing. I still think it's going to just a little healthy pullback and it's trying to curl up there and get moving. Snow is looking really good the other day. And oh yeah, look at this thing. It's setting up in the right spot. It did. It ran up the day we thought on the 4th. And right now it's just getting set up and it should get cruising again, I would think. So I'm going to be looking at that one as well. SNOW. And Dell was setting up super bullish. We knew that and that's going to run. So keep an eye on Dell. Crossed up. Oh, yeah, that one's a good one right there, Dell. That one's a good one. Snow's a good one. Sophie's nice. And Rivian's getting set up there as well. So they're all looking pretty good. AMD up $1.83. It's probably going to run up into that top real quick and keep cruising. And that's super bullish as well. So keep your eye on AMD. Let's look at space, SPCE. That is Virgin Galactic, and it's an aerospace and defense, and it's just kind of flat. I'm telling you, this thing's going to be super bullish as well. So look at this one as well. Space, I think, is going to be a good one. INTC. Intel INTC. Let's see what you're up to. Oh, that one looks super good. Oh God, yeah. Holy cow. You might want to look at INTC tomorrow because that one looks really good. PayPal, you want to look at that. Laptop Travel said he's bullish on PayPal. That's one we can add to the list. They're usually a good one to look at. PYPL up nine. Oh yeah, that's a super bullish one. Going to run up into the top right there, but you're going to get some movement on PayPal as well. I mean, it's up at the top, but you'll get some momentum play for sure on that one. So you can look at that in the morning as well. And that is PYPL, PayPal. Let's look at Disney and see what Disney's up to. Up 12 cents. Oh, this setting up Super Bowl. Let it pull back a little bit. See if you can get it under 91 in the 90s or so. And Disney's setting up to be super bullish. So we will hit that one as well. SMCI, that did pull back today. And it ran up yesterday. It's between the 20 and 50. Let's see what it wants to do tomorrow. If it can get over to 50, it's going to run up to like that $66 range and it's at 45. So we'll keep an eye on it as it tries to move up SMCI, and that's that super micro computer. They did a reverse split and all that good jazz. Oxy was down $1.59. Looks like oil was coming down a little bit, so Oxy coming down a hair. Let's look at Exxon Mobil, XOM. That also is coming down. So it did look like yesterday were their tops and ExxonMobil and oil and gas is coming down a little bit. Mara's down 16 cents, and I have a feeling it's going to try to roll off this MACD. And again, this thing's setting up for like a month from now, Mara. But Riot was looking really good. Excuse me. And still rolling off that MACD and going up. So I think Riot's still trying to move and looking good there. CLSK, that clean spark, that had a weird look and maybe just pulling back a hair, but this one's setting up super bullish and it's going to get running up into the 15s. It's at the 9. I'm not saying it is tomorrow. Let it pull back and get set up and we'll hit CLSK. That's why it got added. COIN and they are a Bitcoin miner or something to do with it. COIN Coinbase looks like it wants to roll off that MACD and again set up for like 2, 3 weeks down the road. DJT, that was the one that we knocked out of the park today, and it's going to continue to get up to that top. Should hit that 25 probably tomorrow. It's at 2180 and it is moving. And what did I tell you guys? There you go, DJT. I didn't see any of the people that were talking smack from StockTwit's feed. They were nowhere to be found today. I swear I tried to post 5 times to get somebody to tell me I was wrong, and I just couldn't get it. Amazing, isn't it? Imagine that. How funny. They're all run their mouths when it goes down. Hey, you want it to go. They have to pull back. We watch this stuff every single day, and people have no idea what they're talking about. It's so great. And then they disappear. So I like to do that. And yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to call out people that are just negative like that, and that's why I had to today. Because again, I'd go on that feed just trying to post hey, this thing's at $13 and it's going up. It's at 21, almost $22, over 22 today, and that's one hell of a jump. And I'm just giving you a free stock that's gonna make you money. And people are on there just acting like I'm crazy and I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, let's see. And then when you show them 2 weeks later that you're right, it's crickets. They're gone. They vanished. So just quite amazing, isn't it? But that's basically what you see. The whole country's like that, and that's why we call people out all the time. You have to. It's called integrity, and that's what we have. And so there you go, DJT. We knew it was going up, and it went up. And again, had nothing to do with politics or anything. The damn chart looked good. It's all that mattered to me. I didn't care about any of it. And we knew it was going to go up. That's all that mattered. So DJT, there you go. Lock in the profits as it goes up. Funware, we know that one was going up too, and it ran up some more today, up another six. It went up to like 396. It's at 381 and should continue to go up a little more to that top. So there you go with fun. And BLK, our BlackRock, that was up $8.40. I'm telling you, this thing's curling down. I would just wait for it to get curled back up. It's just running. It probably won't get under that 930, I bet. But let's see if we can get it around 930, and then it'll obviously run up higher than 950. We already know that. So let's just keep an eye on BlackRock, and we will watch that bad boy and catch that one because it seems to be pretty easy. Let me look at the charts real quick. I was seeing XPON, we went over that, but VERB was on there, and I just wanted to see what it was trying to do here. Verb ran up today, didn't it? Finally got moving a little bit. There you go. How about that Verb? We were looking at that for a while and it did move. I'm not so sure it's going to continue to, but I just saw it on there and just was wondering what the heck it did. Nothing crazy. Let me see. I'm just going to cruise through one more page, see if I see anything else catches my eye real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. What's this? Nothing. This one looks like a good one to try to short. Not that I short anything, but what is it? Oh, it's an ETF. X Trackers Harvest CSI 300 China A shares ETF. I don't even know what that means. ASHR. But that one's coming down. So that's one of the China ones that was way up there too. It was way bullish, but that's coming down. Again, most of these China ones look like they're coming down. MAXN, we know is going to split, so we're going to watch for that. And that's about all I see. And let's look at plug to end it. And I'll look. Let me know if you guys want to see anything. And plug doesn't look that great. I mean, it's sitting right there on the 20 and between a line. It could be all right. We look at plug tomorrow, actually. Now that I look at it a little better, let me see on mine. It's not looking too bad. Nah, I could roll off of there. I could look at plug tomorrow. That's not too bad. I'll take a look at that bad boy. Let me see if anybody else has anything that they want to look at. Um, there we go. PayPal. Let me see if there was anything on StockTwits that we're missing here. I'll tell you what's trending real quick. We won't go through them. PLTR, CVNA, Hood, HOOD, that LASE we now today. Turbo, the crypto one, Roblox. We'll look at that. Boeing's actually on there, and LCX, that's a crypto. Um, MicroStrategy is up a little bit. MSTR and SKK. I don't know what that is. That's the pro short Russell. So let's look at Roblox real quick. RBLX. Hold on, let me check that and see what they're doing. RBLX, because this one was way down, I remember, and it's super bullish right there. Today it was trying to move. Um, 30 million in volume, opening at 37, got up to 40. It closed at 40. Let me see it on mine. RBLX might be a good one to look at tomorrow. Just no, my chart looks totally different than that. Huh, wow, that's pretty wild. 4060. Hold on. Let me look at it on here. I hate when they look different like that. Nah, it looks like it's still pulling back. Mine and stock charts look pretty similar. I don't know if Finviz is looking like it must have pulled back some more in the after hours. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll look at Roblox RBLX and see when it wants to move because it did pull back there. So we'll keep an eye on it. And there you go. I would say that's a pretty good live show market review. We broke it all down. I'll tell you what, it was looking good too, real quick. You ready? Here we go. Um, SPRC, EDBL are looking good. ALBT's looking good. That XRTX. Um, we're keeping an eye on MLGO. Honestly, we got to keep an eye on all the Asian and China stock, Asian ones, China ones. I'm gonna look and see what they're up to tomorrow. They all have that look where they could go either way. So we already know that. Maxim's reverse split and XPON is reverse split, and we're looking at the Yang and obviously the Yin to try to come down, but we're looking at that Yang to go up. Couple other ones. CDT was looking great. CERO was looking good. That TMC's looking good, and GOSS, SYRS, that's been moving. And APDN, keep an eye on it because it is set up in the right spot. And Rivian, Sophie, Snow, SNOW, Dell, DELL, AMD, Space, SPCE, and Intel, INTC were all also looking really nice there. So there you go. Just a little quick recap of what we marked down, what was looking good. And and I hope everybody enjoyed our live show tonight. Thank you for everybody for posting a lot of great stock tickers. I hope I got everything. I hope I didn't miss anybody's. If I did, shoot me a message or a comment, and I'll just break it down real quick. And we'll be back here at 7 a.m. to do the pre-market, see what's happening, see what's popping. And clearly, we got to see what's happening with the China markets because they're a little wild and dictating a whole lot of these penny ones, at least the Asian ones, obviously. So we'll watch that and see what's happening and roll through our crypto, see what's going on. And of course, our Jolie's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns and everything else we go through. So thank you, everybody. I hope everyone has a good night. Appreciate you hanging out and all the feedback always. Let me know if you want me to look at anything in the morning, and I will check it out. And until then, you guys have a great night. And like I say, always lock in these profits, and we're gonna trade smart and look at options. Like I said, I'm gonna definitely hit up my buddy Josh. I will tomorrow morning, and I'll get him to put me out a little option thing that little tips and things that could help people because he knows how to explain it really well. And and yeah, there we go. We'll get that all down. And if anyone has questions, I'll ask them and I'll find out the answers for you. So everybody can be on the same page because like we were explaining, they just seem to work much better and the profits are way higher, but you don't have to have as much risk either. You're buying 100 shares for that one option, and generally the price is lower than 100 shares would ever be. So it's the leverage is what you're looking at. So we'll get more into that, and again, you guys can see we had a lot of poppers and we're just knocking them out of the park right now. We got the look down and multiple 100%ers almost every single day. We said we were going to start doing it, and now it's happening. Now let's all start locking them in and really hitting the profits and just seeing our accounts like just get bigger and bigger and bigger and just continue to roll over. So that's what we're looking to do next. And so there you go. That's what the show's all about. So let me know if you want to know anything, see anything. If you shoot me a message on here, I respond to everybody. And I honestly enjoy talking to everybody. It's always some great conversations, always different questions and different stock tickers. So I always enjoy it. So send me whatever. And you're not bothering me. And like I say, if you post a comment and I don't comment on it, I probably missed it. Just hit me back up and I will comment. So I try to comment on every single thing. And there you go. That's our live show. That's what it's all about. So have a great night, everybody, and I'll see you at 7 a.m. for pre-market. Good night, and I will see you in the morning.